cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off in the fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up, YouTube world? How is everybody doing? I hope you can hear me. I'm back. Jay, Guilty of Crime. How's it going today? Wow, what a busy day. Today, we're talking about Bre Micciolo seeking justice for Corey. Now, we didn't talk about this the other day. I tried to keep it out of the I kept it out of the conversation. I didn't know what to talk about and what I could say. And I didn't want to, frankly, compromise anything that Bre has going on. And I just wanted to hear her story, her platform, her story, whatever she wanted to say. So today, well, I saw her on News Nation and we've texted back and forth a couple of times. And I asked her if I could get a reaction from her after sentencing. And she so kindly said she would love to. So maybe she'll be in chat today. We chatted either this morning or last night, and she said she'll be watching today. So if we're lucky enough, we'll get her in chat. So whoever says that she probably does have other obligations. So Bre, shout out to you for being so brave and so strong and doing what you do. I'm going to play some clips and we're going to keep fighting for justice for Corey. We hope Corey's law passes and it helps other children. And we're going to be putting you again. And I'm going to show everybody what's been going on. Now, this is coming from articles. It's coming from Facebook. Bre is all over the place. And I imagine why this happened. And justice still hasn't been served, even though the guilty verdict. All right, can you guys hear me right now? All right, I guess you can. Bree's messaged me. So justice for Corey is what we're talking about today. We are seeking justice and we want to back Bre in Corey's law and anything else she does. We're going to talk about that today, what she has out in the media. So this is not me having a conversation with her about it. I hope at some point that we can, but we have not yet. And I hope she pops in or I hope Rebecca pops in. So our theme today is justice for Bre Micciolo. Thank you all for being here today. Sorry I confused people with putting out those videos. I wanted to make sure that people weren't buying videos over and over. And it came to my attention that was happening. So I'm going to say hi to everyone and we'll get started. Hello, justice for Bre Micciolo. It's not there until sentencing is served, till Corey's law happens, and until Bre feels like justice has been served for her. So hello, lovely people. Kirsten, Sue, hey, Maddie, on behalf of everyone, justice for Corey, keeping Corey's story alive. Absolutely. And not just keeping his story alive, we're backing Bre 110%. I want her to know that we're here for anything that she needs as she goes through this. All of us show love for her and anything that she does. So what's up, Sadie's mama? A day oneer. Maddie, of course, Maddie. Love you, Bre. Lauren Buckner, Jamila, hey Jay, Fab Crew, Sarah. 1 o'clock in Germany. Wow, it's 4:06 over here. The real me, justice for Corey. Bre, yes we can. We're all sending love to Bre through this video. So if she happens to pop on, that would be lovely. If she's just listening to us because she's busy, then either way, we're privileged that she has is paying attention to what we're doing and knows that we're trying to serve her well. So let me thank the people. There's some new members here, and then we'll get started. Thank you, Direct Current. We got Crime Mutt. I think some of these are from yesterday, but the Creative Lotus Lab, Twisted Quill, that was from yesterday. Sue, new member, and Anna Lee Hallwell. All right, folks, let's get into today's episode of Seeking Justice and see what Bre is up to a little bit here. And also, I want to put Christopher Gregor. I want to show you him on the Walk of Shame. So I dug up as much as I possibly could to on this case, and I wanted to show you this here. Let me see if I can make it bigger for you. There it is. All right, folks, let's take a look at this. And that's right, Lauren. I don't know what Lauren said, but Annalise, 40 years, no less. I am with you, and I am taking the day off to stream this so that we can all be there putting good vibes. We have 111 people in chat right now, 111. Our wish is for Corey to seek full justice and Bre to get the justice that she deserves for whatever she does. All right. So, hello, everybody. Look at that monster. That's what he deserves, is a band around him and handcuffs on his wrists, folks. So, Rebecca says 40 years, I hope. And Renee, I'm with you. I'm on the 50-year crew. When I read the laws, the maximum he could get is 50 years, and I'm with you. That's what I want. I'm shooting for that. I'm hoping for that. I'm praying for that. And my wishes are for maximum 50 years, folks. So let's hope that happens. All right. What's the attorney saying to him? All right, let me read this article to you. All right. Maddie says Bre doesn't pay attention to people talking trash about her. She knows the truth and cares about people know which way. I'm not sure, Maddie, who you are, but we love Bre and we care for her. I hope nobody's talking trash about her at all. I really do hope no one's saying anything bad. If they are, they got to get out of chat. All right. 50? Well, hell yes. Rebecca, 50 would be even better. Well, I read the laws and that's what I read. Maximum penalty 10 to 20 on one and 20 to 30 on the other. Now, remember, they offered Christopher Gregor 30 years and he turned it down. All right. So let's take a look at this article. And all it says here, and this is, it's kind of nice that they don't call it the Treadmill murder, the Treadmill case, which is how I picked up the case. All right. I picked it up as that. Okay. I'm going to answer Maddie just because you say you help Bre run the group along with awesome Carrion. Well, Maddie, thank you for coming to my attention. I just want you to know, and I have my cell phone right here. I talked to Bre and she said she would be watching this tonight. So I want to help her any way I can. We talked for a little bit. And this morning at 7:06 a.m., she says, I'll be watching your video tonight. Thanks for continuing to cover it. So I just want you to know that she is paying attention and she knows I have her back. And from one mom to another, this has nothing to do with me trying to get likes and subscribes and all that. I've been doing this for 7 months and I came on here because I study true crime and I'm into justice for everybody. I started out doing serial killers, covering those, and then I realized I can help in the justice of children. Okay. So I want you to know what I'm about, folks. I seek justice for those that can't for themselves. And then I support the families that need support. I'm here for them. I'm not here to exploit anyone or anything else. They want to text me. They want to call me. Good. But I'm not going to call them and bug them and say, hey, can you please be on my show? No, I'm not here for that, folks. I'm here for justice. So, all right. Thank you, Maddie. Gosh, I never thought that was over. I absolutely adore you, and I'm so thankful you gave her this platform. Thank you. I can't see all the chat going on, and I wasn't directed at you. I just want people to know what I stand for and what I'm about and the passion that I have for these cases and helping people. And I yeah, I don't want to be misunderstood from the beginning. So let's look at this monster as I read this article. This is everything I dug up. So June 4th, 2024. This is called How an Ocean County Child's Death Made International News. Now, the reason I want to read this article, two reasons. One, I saw this picture of this monster in the way that he should be. And the second reason is people are starting to hear Bre. When I watched that News Nation clip, I was so proud of her. I texted her right away and I said, "Oh my God, I'm so happy that you were able to tell them what you needed to in that 5-minute clip and they were on your side." And when the governor, government, DCP, and P see that, they know they're in hot water. So let's read this together. I'll read it to you. All right, let's get this monster off the streets for 50 years. Christopher Greger is let out of court after his conviction for child endangerment and aggravated manslaughter of his 6-year-old son, the beautiful Bre Micciolo. Love that little boy. I don't even know him, but just beautiful little angel that's watching above us now. All right. So this is where he belongs and this is how he deserves to be. And I hope somebody beats him up even worse than he did to the vulnerable child that couldn't help himself. All right. So this is Barnegat. And now this is what I wanted to bring. It's not just Corey. Now we're starting to make this picture bigger. It says an estimated 500 children die at the hands of their parents every year in the United States. Now, I think there may be more than that, folks. However, this is an important article because they're starting to listen. Thank you, Joyce, for being here. Thank you, Jen, for being here and listening. Karma is a B, and 50 years, please. God bless you, Corey, such a sweet little boy. Absolutely. I had a little boy once that's 25, and he reminded me of that. I got him when he was 5 years old, and same little innocent guy. Now he's a grown man with a beard and long hair, and I love him even more. Okay, you love your children each day even more, and your heart, it gets even softer for them. So, all right, an estimated 500 children die at the hands of their parents every year in the United States. The 2021 tragic death of Bre Micciolo, a first grade student from Barnegat, brought the statistic close to home. A jury convicted his father, 32-year-old Christopher Greger, of child endangerment and aggravated manslaughter after a month-long trial. Why did this particular case capture international attention? One key factor was the involvement of Dr. Michael Baden, a forensic pathologist known from his work on the O.J. Simpson trial and the investigation in the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr. His expert testimony for defense and high-profile interest to the case. We also know he had an HBO series called Autopsy. I watched that. I'm also into autopsies, and everything true crime is what I study and what I cover. All right. It's science. It's facts. I love ballistics. Everything that's true crime I want to know about. All right. So it says, however, it was Corey's mother, Brianna Micciolo, whose relentless pursuit of justice truly amplified the case's visibility. Her emotional social media campaign for her son gained significant traction. This eventually led to the trial being broadcast by Court TV, a channel known for covering cases like those of the Menendez brothers and Casey Anthony. Other online channels also picked up the trial, fueling the public's fascination with Corey's tragic story. Bre, much love to you. Much love to you, because many cases do not get this attention, and you're making things happen. And I know you're tired, of probably people calling you and wanting you on and that, this and that. I just want you to know we're here. If your mom wants to talk to me, I'm here to talk to her. You guys don't have to go online, but I commend you. For this article made me emotional hearing that Corey's mother, and she likes to be called Bre, so I'm going to call her Bre Micciolo, whose relentless pursuit of justice truly amplified the case's visibility. Her emotional social media campaign for her son gained significant traction, and I truly believe that it did. I truly believe that was a huge factor in helping this case get to where it is. Sherry B, love Jay. All right, he was a handsome little boy, and you know what? He's looking down on all of us. Bre did an amazing job in court. I want to actually play a clip after when we're done of her because she looked beautiful. She looked nothing like what the defense tried to present. And Marilyn, you're right. Relentless Bre. She gets the Mother of the Year award. That is definitely not Jennifer Soto. For all of those crazy people that are on her side, Bre is a hero. And she doesn't even know it. She's a tired hero. She probably feels like I do. I feel nothing like the voice for anybody half the time, but we fight every day because that's what we need to do. And Bre, kudos to you for doing that. It's such a shame the angel Corey is getting attention after. However, he should be a saint due to his suffering and innocence, and I agree. But the thing is that progress is being made. Let me finish this article, okay? So there's that monster and his awful high-paid attorney. All right, so it says supervising assistant prosecutor Christine Lento makes the case in court. All right. Gregor invoked his right to not testify. Of course he did, on his own behalf, which his defense attorney pointed out should not be viewed as an admission of his guilt. Corey's father maintained his innocence from the start of the case and turned down a 30-year plea offer when he was first charged. Ocean County Supervising Assistant Prosecutor Christine Lento and Supervising Assistant Prosecutor Jamie Schron presented the case to the jury. The most alarming piece of evidence, you guys probably already know, prompted Gregor's initial charges of child endangerment in July of 2021 for a March 2021 incident. Can you guys guess what it is? Incident infamously labeling the case as a treadmill abuse trial. In an interview after the trial, defense attorney Mario Gallucci spoke about the video. Now that is what gained a lot of attention. I'm going to pull myself up here because I think I'm reading this to you. I don't think I kind of want to see all you beautiful people, and I feel like I'm way in the corner there. Nobody puts baby in the corner. What's that from? All right. I love you all. All right. Maddie, I got to give you a little attention. He knew if he testified, Jamie and Christine were going to bring up the phone call, coaching his mother in the treadmill video. And luckily, they did see that. They did hear the coaching. And yeah, that stopped that. Mario sucks. One of the worst videos. Yeah, a lot of people couldn't watch it. It was a treadmill horror. And I know his parents watched it. They're full of, you know what? Let me finish this article and we'll move on. All right. So Mario Gallucci spoke about the video. He said, you have that treadmill video, which I said in my opening statement was horrible, said Gallucci. No child should be treated that way, the way the child was treated on that video. Corey passed on April 2nd, 2021, and Gallucci said he still maintains the 12 days between the date of the video had nothing to do with Corey's passing. None of the expert witnesses who testified at the trial correlated the injuries Corey suffered from the treadmill incident to his death. Prior to the start of the trial, Gallucci attempted to have the endangerment charges separated from the murder charges. His co-counsel, Andrea Ferrante, argued before Superior Court Judge Guy P. Ryan that prior acts of abuse should be ruled as inadmissible as they are unduly prejudicial. Absolutely, I disagree. However, he did not get the murder charge, and we heard Bre's take on that. She doesn't think it was intent, so he had a good lawyer fighting for him. I still hope 50 years, there's Bre. Bre, even though you're crying in this picture, you still look beautiful. We all think you're beautiful, and you did a fantastic job in court. I cannot say that enough. I don't know how you did it. Kudos to you. One of the worst videos I've ever seen. Yeah, okay, so sorry, Bre. There's a picture of you crying there, but you're doing it. Notably, Bre has indicated she previously reported numerous incidences of abuse to New Jersey's Division of Child Protection. and permanency, DCPP, heard justice for Corey, telling his mother his father was abusing him. Testimony about those claims was not allowed in court. Did you hear what I just said? And that's what she said too. Those damn incidences weren't allowed in court. That video that you heard of little Corey talking about his head being pulled back and being choked wasn't allowed in court because Christopher Greger's parents are also monsters, I believe. And I heard that maybe his dad was abusive or hard on him, but that gives him no excuse. So testimony about those claims were not allowed in court. Bre, they got a picture of you. You still look good there. She's crying during the trial. I don't blame her. Just raw emotion. Cool. All right. I hope you guys are still with me as I read this article. We are very proud of Bre and Rebecca, both of them. They're making this happen. This is what makes the world go round. Laws change, advocates happen, advocacies grow, and children being helped. I wish it didn't have to be that way, folks. I wish that it didn't have to end in that way where somebody passes and then that happens. Not abusing his son, but leaving him alone. Yeah, absolutely. Well, he did get abuse charges, and we're going to go for 50 years. So let me finish the article, and then we're going to look at some other things I dug up for you. All right. There wasn't a lot of coverage on this, so I'm covering it here. Gallucci attempted to have the case dismissed for insufficient evidence after its presentation to the jury. Ryan denied both motions. Defense counsel announced intentions to appeal the case immediately after the verdict. That happens every time, folks. If you watch court cases and you're a true crime addict like myself or Bre, the moderator, Bre, Gothic Bre, we're true crime addicts. We study crime, we live crime, we breathe crime, and we want it to change in the justice system. So Mr. Greger is going to appeal, of course he is. He's going to appeal several decisions in the case, said Gallucci. Right now, we're interviewing a few firms on some of the issues raised pre-trial during the trial, most notably decision denying severance. Fail, he's not going to get it. We sought pre-trial to split the case into two parts, with the first trial being endangering and the treadmill video, and the second, the murder, of which acquitted. Gallucci continued, however, the conviction of aggravated manslaughter still would not make the decision right for argument. This guy's not going to get an appeal. Let's be real, folks. I hope you're all still with me. Gallucci is delusional. Thank you all for being here and supporting. We have 192 in chat. If it's not too much to ask, hit that like button so we can get this out in the algorithm. We had an amazing turnout with Bre's video, and I saw other people playing it on their channel, which means that more people get to see the real story of Corey and what happened to Bre to bring us here today, folks. So let me, my lighting's a little bit weird today. I'm trying to fix it real quick. It's doing all kind of funny stuff. Hold on. All right. That's kind of cool. That's a weird one. Goes red. Okay. 1 second. I'll get it right. Yeah, let me finish the article. What's up, Davey? Yeah, good luck with the appeal, demon. He's an absolute demon, folks. All right. Let's continue. During closing arguments, Lento honed in on the treadmill video in sections. She pointed out that Greger held up two fingers, which she submitted bore significant meaning. Brianna was 2 hours late in returning Corey, and Lento suggested the child was being punished as a result. This allegation led to the interference that Corey was being punished for revealing what was being done to him, leading to further abuse on the date of his passing. The jury asked for a replay of the treadmill video during the deliberations. They also requested a re-break of the transcript from the forensic pathologist who provided expert testimony on behalf of the prosecution. Dr. Thomas A. Andrew provided a timeline and details of what he said were blunt force injuries that led to Corey's death. Bodden, who should be retired, but of course this family hired the best attorney That guy's not a good attorney, but he's high paid. And Dr. Bodden attributed to the little boy's passing to natural causes, specifically a fast growing pneumonia and sepsis. Dr. Annette Feingold, a pediatric infectious disease specialist, disputed Bodden's claims after reviewing medical records from both the day prior to Corey's death and the final hospital visit when he was pronounced. Okay, now this is pretty much what the monster looked like the entire time. What's up, Arctic Wolf? Justice for Corey and Bre. Okay, we're all about justice for the Micciolos at this point. We'll just say justice for the Micciolos. The Gregors are not good people, and now we know, and I hope they get further exposed. This guy pretty much had this look on his face the entire time. If you want to see him bigger, you can. You probably don't, but all right, let's finish this article. There's so much more. So what I want to talk about here, this is cool because it says the voice of Corey Micciolo. The Ocean County Prosecutor's Office took on a role of Corey Micciolo's voice in court. Brianna readily admitted there were times that she was frustrated by how long it took for justice to prevail. And I don't blame you, Bre, one bit. But by doing that, you're helping other children and you're helping your case. So kudos to you. All right. However, she also acknowledged her gratitude for the work that was done to bring the case to verdict. In the 3 years since Corey passed, a number of supporters have attended court hearings and held protests to bring attention to the case. Brianna's mother, Rebecca, and sister, Nicole, have stood by her side as two constants at the hearing. In a world where some families bond closely with the birth of a child, this was not the case with the Micciolos and the Gregors. Even after Corey's death, the two families held separate memorial services, which we talked about. They had their own private one. You remember in the video what Bre talked about? All right. There were never a couple, shared Rebecca, which is Rebecca Micciolo, Bre's mom. Brianna was 16 and he was 21 when he got her pregnant. It was not consensual, and he knew the child was his before I told David Gregor. All right, so there's the people. Thank you. That's a powerful statement. That's a very powerful statement that many people were speculating but didn't actually know. They were never a couple. So Bre and Chris were never a couple. Bre was 16 and Chris was 21 when he got her pregnant, and it was not consensual. We all know what that means. And he knew his child. He knew he had a child before they told Mr. Gregor. I call him Mr. Gregor, but I should call him something else. So there's that pathetic attorney. All right, this is a great article that they wrote. You guys are doing such a fantastic job at getting the media's attention, and I know those. I know you're going to be successful, and I don't know, but I hope that we get complete and utter justice in every way possible. All right, let me finish this article. It's such a good one. All right. I don't know if anyone's seen this. Rebecca said that when she first went to meet Christopher's parents, she felt like she was being interviewed. She was puzzled when David asked if there had been any DCPP involvement while Corey was in their care. It seemed like an odd question to ask her. During the trial, Rebecca was sequestered as a potential witness. She sobbed audibly in court when the image of the treadmill was displayed after she finally was permitted in the courtroom. Then she says, I feel like the defendant's attorney put me and my whole family on trial. I agree with that. Rebecca said, we were the victims and he tried to make us out to be criminals. During her testimony, Brianna admitted that she had begun using methamphetamine to numb her feelings. She went through a drug treatment and like I said, and she says, congratulations, been sober since February 2021. Defense counsel referred to a Facebook message where Bre attempted to get a bump on the day of Corey's death. She said she never got that and didn't use it on that day. Same story over and over again. The truth doesn't waver. When you're telling the truth, the same story happens over and over, folks. It's always easy to tell the truth because you're going to say the same thing. When you lie, different stories come out. So make this a mental note to you. Just tell the truth. Bre is telling her truth. I don't blame her for wanting to numb her feelings after being that age and that happening with that monster non-consensual, and then getting pregnant at that age, and then her still having that little beautiful baby with the support of her mother helping her, I'm sure, raise that little guy. Yeah, I love Bre. Everybody loves Bre. You guys are so amazing for showing love. I don't know if she's in the chat, but if she rewatches this later, she'll feel the love. All right. Again, this is a great article. Glad I found it. All right. So 2 days after Corey's death, let me see if it's pulled up. You guys, I want you to see her. So I'm going to pull myself down again. You can see. I want you to see the beautiful family there. And 2 days before Corey passed, Brianna filed an application with the court to have her son removed from Gregor's care. She submits DCP and P already had the treadmill video in their possession and failed to produce it in court. A lawsuit has been filed against DCPP in civil court alleging mishandling of abuse done to Corey. If that is not mishandling of what was I going to say, evidence, if that's not mishandling of evidence, I don't know what is. There was people that were on my channel when I picked this case up that couldn't even watch this. Okay. Yeah. Ellie Wright says, we love you, Bre. And we're all here to support you. So whatever you need, we're here. Rebecca looks so young. We love Bre and mom. I love how she's close with her mom. I'm like that with my mom. All right. So let's finish the article. Has anyone else seen this article, by the way? All right. So I'm going to just read that out to you so you can see. So that's Bre in the center. As you know, we know the face, the hero face that looks sad. She does look sad, and I don't blame her. Bre in the center with her mother, Rebecca, and sister, Nicole, after the verdict. So what's up, y'all, to the family? Hey, Rebecca, I hope to see you in chat or on some comments. Also, I'd like your number so I could text you. And sister Nicole, I didn't know. Now we know. There's the family, the supportive family, which, by the way, Corey would have been way better off with them if we had a DeLorean like JP, that JP guy, we'd go back in time and change it, but we can't. So now we're in the pursuit of justice, and we're in the pursuit of backing Bre however she needs and winning that lawsuit and getting a Corey's Law created. And I'm not going to tell any background stuff. She's going to tell it. I'm not saying anything that's not out there. I've heard a couple other things that's moving really well for her in her direction. She wore blue for Corey that day. Definitely his mom. She was definitely his mom. I mean, we see we see you, Bre. We see you and your mom. All right. We see what you've been doing. This is, yeah, we see. That's all I have to say. All right. So Bre was prepared to take a urine test to check for drugs if the court mandated one, but instead the judge ordered a completion of child abuse exam within 7 days, hours before Corey's death. Brianna told his father of the appointment she scheduled with the child abuse expert. She'd spent the previous days meeting with the regular pediatrician and then on the hospital when Corey's injuries were documented. They were there to meet together that day at noon. Corey is no longer here to explain what happened after Bre saw him alive for the last time on the morning of his passing. However, Bre still believes Corey's voice still needs to be heard, perhaps in the form of changing systems that have failed him. And that I agree with. I think that's it for the article. So let me put myself back up for a minute. And wasn't that a great article? Do you see the tables turning here, folks? Now that that's over, do you see how the narrative is changing and we're no longer backing? If you watch that trial in the entirety, I don't know why, but it painted Bre in this. I think it's because they were using that as a defense. They were trying to say that Bre did it in that time and it was her fault and the treadmill was before, but it definitely painted a terrible light. And I'm glad this is coming out now. So I'm more than glad, but all right. Curious how many people swept Corey's life under the carpet for those evil people of Chris's father because of his occupation. It's a good question. All right, so there's the first thing. Now, Bre, you're doing a great job. You're all over the place, and I have more of you. So if you don't like watching yourself, you're not going to like this video because you're everywhere right now. Okay. And I love it. It's great. Let's get to the second thing. All right. So I have Bre reacting to the to the verdict. Let's do this, folks. And I bet you a lot of people haven't seen this. Let's see. I dug up as much as I could on here, and it's pretty cool that there's so much. All right, your podcast included all that info. Great article, maybe reach more people. It did, but those were in the words of Bre directly. So when Bre comes on and she's sitting there and candidly talking to me for 2 hours, candid, we're just having a chat. She's sitting next to her mom, chilling in the living room. I'm here. I didn't ask a lot of questions. I just kind of guided her. And that same story that news reporter just wrote matched right up. Wow, when you tell the truth, it seems like everything aligns. That was a great article, and I wanted you to see that everything that she says aligns because that's just how it is when you tell the truth. I watched that man's verdict 10 times. Maybe we should watch it again for the 11th time when we're done here. All right, let's watch Bre's reaction. All right, so Corey Micciolo's mom, Bre, reacts to Christopher Greger's guilty verdict. Let me pull this down because I want you to see it. And this was just on Yahoo News, so everybody's kind of picking it up. All right, let's go.
I think we feel sad but happy at the same time because he deserves to be in jail. He's a very bad man, and we're just happy with the verdict and what the jury picked.
Okay, that was so quick. That was so quick. It went by so quick. Let's see if I can go back. I don't even know how I found that freaking thing. Let's play one more time if it lets me. Do you see how many seconds that was? They barely, but that was really cool. I'm glad they got that. All right, let's go back. I wonder if I have to I guess they don't like you playing their stuff on the channel. This was not on anything else that I could find. So yeah, let me refresh it. I went too quick, man. And then they want to play a freaking article. So I'm going to go one more time with it because
California's main.
Hold on, I'll lower it. That's what I did. I went through the ad and then I paused it. I wanted you guys to hear one more time the tone in her voice.
Water security for all. We must take action.
Yes,
I think we feel sad but happy at the same time because he deserves to be in jail. He's a very bad man, and we're just happy with the verdict and what the jury.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm glad I got that little quick reaction, but she reacted and Yahoo News got it. Again, the more, the better that it gets out there. And that was literally like the only clip that I could find of her reaction to that. So thank you. Yeah, I'm pulling up anything I could so that we can cover it and give her more airtime and not give 13-second clips. Can you say some of the things that were not allowed in court in their victim statements? I'm not sure what that means. Can they say some of the things? Oh, I can absolutely say that. A lot of class. Bre is very classy. I was surprised that the Gregors didn't think that she was classy, and they're the ones that have zero class. They might have a couple dollars in their pocket, but no class whatsoever. Those people are evil, classless people. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate it. I got more for you folks. I did my homework on this one. All right. Oh yeah, I got another one for you. All right, let's do this. We want all compiled into one document, everybody. All right, let's listen to this together.
Where the jury reached a verdict in the Treadmill abuse murder trial in New Jersey.
Madam Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict?
They have, sir.
And is that verdict unanimous?
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm going to read to you each count. Please give me the jury's unanimous response. 1, how do you find as to count 1, endangering the welfare of a child?
Guilty.
2, how do you find as to count 2, murder?
Not guilty.
3, how do you find as to the charge of aggravated manslaughter?
Guilty.
All right, you heard it right there. Christopher Gregor found guilty of aggravated manslaughter and endangering the welfare of a...
That was pretty awesome, right? We got to watch it again together, and we're watching Bre as she grows. And in a year from now, she's going to be so much higher. We're going to probably see her smiling a little bit more and just happier. Her daughter's growing. Things are looking up. She's getting out of that shadow that they put upon her with that horrible family. I actually want to see that one more time. Let's watch it one more time. I want to see him and his disappointed face.
Madam Foreperson, has the jury reached a verdict?
They have, sir.
And is that verdict unanimous?
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm going to read to you each count. Please give me the jury's unanimous response. 1, how do you find as to count 1, endangering the welfare of a child?
Guilty.
2, how do you find as to count 2, murder?
Not guilty.
3, how do you find as to the charge of aggravated manslaughter?
Guilty.
All right, you heard it right there. Christopher Gregor found guilty of aggravated manslaughter and endangering the welfare of a child for that treadmill incident we saw on tape. We're looking at it now. Again, it's a key piece of evidence in this case was that surveillance video from just a few weeks before Corey's death. It shows the first grader running on a treadmill as Gregor increases the speed. And
now we do know about this. Obviously, this is like what got this to be national, along with Bre spreading the word. He is an absolute monster. We're on the 50-year crew. He's a monster. Ellie says, I'm a sober mother. I know how hard Bre worked, and she should be so proud. She should be so proud. I think she's really tired. I feel tired in trying to find this stuff and report on it, and she's actually the one doing it. So I could imagine. And to think his girlfriend's sticking by him for what? We don't know. Well, maybe he gets, maybe the parents pay her. I have no idea. I thought this was a reaction from her. I thought there was some, I don't need to, yeah, there is. Here it is. That's what I want to watch. Not that again. I just want anything and everything. Bre Micciolo, 100% justice.
He's a very bad man, and we're just happy with the verdict and what the jury picked.
Were you, are you disappointed at all it wasn't murder 1?
A little bit, but I'm still happy with the aggravated manslaughter.
What would you like to say to all the people out there watching who following the show?
Thank you for the support. I've gotten a lot of support, and the people that don't support me, oh well. It's my life, not theirs.
I know that this is not yet finished for you. I think you have a lawsuit pending. Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
DCP is going to be held responsible, as well as Chris.
Gregor is scheduled to be sentenced on August 2nd. He faces up to 40 years in prison.
Okay. Now it's 40, I guess.
I wish you
okay.
the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Can I tell one word about the story which you will see?
Yes,
I
please.
don't know what that is. All right. Let's get out of there. All right. So I guess it is 40 years. I don't know the laws. I was sent a document that said he can serve up to 50. They're going to give him the max. And the reason I say they're going to give him, I don't know what I have right here on this side. They're going to give him the max because they offered him 30. And there's no way they're going to give him 30 when they offered him 30 and had to go through a whole trial. So 40 years it is, but I'm still going to go on the 50-year train just because good vibes to put out there, just maximum sentence, anything they can add, any restitution that they need to pay. So now we know max is 40, and I believe the judge is going to stick it to him. Go get him, Bre. Yeah, and these are the compilations of everything that she's done and reacted to that I could find since the verdict. So she's out there working her tail off to get the word out that she's coming after them, and she's coming after Corey's law to make that happen, so this doesn't happen again. Now, Lori says he won't survive 40 years, but it's the point. Absolutely. 50 years. I agree. I'm right there with you. I'm on that train. He needs more than that. They offered him 30. He declined. Therefore, that's Maddie. That's what I've been saying the entire time. So he also has some time served. He does, but not that much. And I hope the judge sticks to me. We're going to watch it together, folks. And I did ask Bre if she would react to it with us, and she said absolutely. So 50-year crew. So hopefully we can get her. I know everybody wants a piece of Bre. She's out there doing justice, and I just want a little bit of time for her to tell us her thoughts after the verdict. All right, let's keep going on this. I'm really happy with the things that are out there and what I found on this, man. Really, truly, I'm just like so glad she's out there. And with all these articles and all the things, it shows you that she's out there working. She's out, and she's working a job, by the way. She went back to work after not working for a while. So she's working and fighting for her son. So if you can imagine what she was doing when he was alive, just imagine what she's doing now. Mama bears don't let that go. Let's listen to her. I think this was a great interview, and I'm glad that they asked the questions that they did. All right. So let's see here. I'm not sure what any declined requests. Oh, so they asked DCP. Of course they did. And they're in a legal battle now. They asked DCPP, Matthew, the Attorney General, Mario, all these people, and they all declined. So CPS assistant, CPS director, 3rd district, 4th district, counsel for Gregor, nobody wanted to talk. That's okay. Bre has a lot to say, and so does her whole warrior crew. That YouTube, the Facebook channel she has, the Facebook group is huge.
Corey's mother, Brianna, joins us now. Brianna, thank you very much. I'm very sorry for what happened with your son. I'm sorry with what you've had to live through, but I hope you understand that people know that you did what you could.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's hard hearing people say negative things about me, but I really feel like I did absolutely everything I could. DCP&P, they are definitely the ones that failed Corey.
You believe that they had every reason to know that this was going on?
Absolutely. So the video that everyone's seen, the treadmill video, that it's disgusting, it's horrible. DCP&P had that a week before Corey passed away in March 2021. A week before he passed, and they
saw this that we're showing right now. All due respect, exactly. I hope it doesn't bother you too much, but I know that you want people to know.
And I wouldn't have done that if it was me. And I know News Nation needs to, get their point across, but you saw how respectful we did. I did the intro before she came on and made sure I didn't play anything that would trigger her. So as much as I like the interview and what she says, I find this a little bit disrespectful. Yeah. Chris Como interviews, you people listen. Yeah, he does a great job. I just wish they wouldn't have played that in her presence. There just really wasn't a need to. That's the only part I didn't like about that. But I'm glad she's getting her name. That video is repulsive, and they should have kept it off there. But I guess you got to do what you got to do.
The reality here. They had seen this.
Yes.
And they did not go to the house. They didn't do anything.
So I think they went to his house and documented his bruises, and that's as far as it went. And that's when they sent me to the different hospitals. And before they could do anything, this happened.
And What did they explain to you about what was happening and what the process was at that time, and explaining why they couldn't act?
Well, one excuse I got was that it was Good Friday. The day Corey passed was Good Friday, and it was a holiday, and there weren't a lot of people there. That's one of
that. And this is why I'm doing this, because it's my reaction to her video. That is unbelievable. I would have probably jumped through the phone and wanted to choke somebody if they told me that they couldn't do anything because it was Good Friday and it was a holiday and everybody was. I hope Bre gets utter and complete justice, and like Maya Kolowski, I hope they stick it to him. I really, that unbelievable. When I heard her say that, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what? How could you even say that?
one of the excuses. And, you know, he had to see the child abuse expert, and Chris wouldn't take Corey to it. So I feel like he should have seen that expert the night we were at the hospital. The DCP and P, the caseworker, should have been at the hospital with us.
Tell us about Corey's father. What kind of man was he? How much of this is a surprise to you?
He is the worst, most violent.
First of all, he's not a man. He's the devil himself. Thank you, JoJo, for gifting a membership. I think I sent you an email. I want to send you a book. I send you a signed copy. So please send me your address if you haven't already. Let me go back. I'm going to rewind you a little bit. I didn't mean to interrupt. What kind of devil is he?
He is the worst, most vile human being I've ever encountered. He's always been a horrible person. There's not been a time where I thought he was a good person. And no, I'm not surprised. I was telling DCPMP that he was going to end up doing this if they left him in his care.
What was it about for this guy? Did he think it was discipline? Like this is how he was making his son a man? Or like, what was this about for him when you would talk to him about it?
So he never admitted it to me, like ever. But my theory, I think his father being a state trooper, I think he was very hard on him himself. You know, maybe he made him work out, and I think Chris just took it too far, and he took his trauma and put it on Corey. I think that's what happened. And then add that to the hatred he has for me, and, you know, this is what happened.
Was he sick? Did he have substance abuse issues? Is there anything that could explain biting your own kid's head, that this is just not him in control of himself?
I think he's just a psychopath. And, you know, maybe, I know he's done drugs before. Maybe, you know, he was.
That was an amazing answer, by the way, Bre. I couldn't have said that better. I think he's just a psychopath and a narcissist. And I wish he did have more time on there to speak. Although I feel like this is a little, some of these parts he didn't need to say, like about the biting of his head. He really didn't need to say that. But Bre, your reactions are absolutely on point, and you're not getting emotional, and you're saying what you need to. A lot of people would get choked up by that. I would have. So absolutely good. I don't know how you do it.
Getting worse. I don't know, but once he moved out of his parents' house is when it got really bad.
What has been the hardest part for you in processing all of this emotionally with your son?
Just the hardest part is that it could have been prevented. It shouldn't have happened. You know, Chris is horrible, but DCPMP also has a hand in this, because Corey would still be alive if they stepped in and intervened when they saw that video. So the hardest part is just processing that my son should still be here.
What are you going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it? That's the question of the year. That's what I wanted to ask her, but I didn't want to compromise anything. I hadn't seen all the things out in the news yet and about the lawsuit. So I just wanted to focus on that at hand. So I'm really glad now that we can see that. Maybe if she wants to come back on at some point and talk about it. But she's so consistent in what she says and how she says it, that she's such a credible mother that I can't see how DCP and P is not going to be held accountable for this. Even News Nation's putting them on blast, and a lot of times you don't get that. The father created a monster. That's my saying. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And I truly believe that. Keep rocking this, Bre. Man, you got this.
Got it.
Well, I currently have an ongoing lawsuit with DCPMP, and I don't know what the outcome of that will be, but I also have contacted my governor of New Jersey, and I'm asking to meet with him, so maybe we can go over like what we can change, what can we do to fix DCPMP, and maybe even create Corey's law. I don't know exactly what it'll say, but that's my next step.
Well, you had a beautiful son.
She's so amazing. And you know what? And I hope you don't get upset that I say this, but after this came out, after News Nation came out and all these people that declined their little interviews, they reached out to Bre, and guess what? Listen to what she just said.
The governor of New Jersey,
Wait,
and I'm asking to
wait, you did what?
have an ongoing lawsuit with DCPMP, and I don't know what the outcome of that will be, but I also have contacted my governor of New Jersey, and I'm asking to meet with him, so maybe we can go over like what we.
Oh, and right after this, guess what? Guess who contacted her? We'll just leave it at that.
Can change. What can we do to fix DCPMP and maybe even create Corey's law? I don't know exactly what it'll say, but that's my next step.
Well, you had a beautiful son, and it looked like
Thank
he had
you.
a lot of love in his life. And I know it was too short, but it looks like you did your best for him, and that's all you can control. And I'm so sorry.
Absolutely.
We're a call away, and we're not going to leave it alone. I promise you that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, God bless you. I wish you strength in this, and I wish the best to your family.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll be in touch. Hey, thank you for watching.
I'm sure you will, Chris Como, but maybe next time we'll do a little bit, give a little more time and be a little less harsh.
Please go to News Nation now.
All right. So yes, thank you for that, Mr. Como. We appreciate you. We saw her dad's interview. Now let's watch this. We got another News Nation. They went after everybody. Hold on. They definitely went after everybody to make sure that they got their, few minutes in there. So let's see what this says.
Breaking news, a guilty verdict has been reached in the Treadmill abuse murder trial. A New Jersey father being tried for allegedly killing his 6-year-old son. Prosecutors accusing Christopher Greger of forcing his son Corey to keep running on a treadmill because he thought the boy was too fat.
Guilty.
Corey is seen repeatedly falling off of that machine. It was all captured on surveillance video.
Yeah,
The autopsy showed Corey died from blunt force trauma and lacerations to his heart and his liver. But the defense claimed the little boy died from natural causes related to an infection. News Nation's Bre Micciolo is live at that New Jersey courthouse. You've been following all of it. Rich, what can you tell us?
Hi, Nicole. Well, this troubling case just came to an end. This jury came.
Well, it did just come to an end. So, yeah, she definitely shouldn't have said allegedly. There's no allegedly anymore, folks. He's guilty. That's all I wanted to see. And I could almost bet you that now that I know it's I was hoping for 50. But if somebody from New Jersey knows the laws, see, that's where I'm getting two sides. One person says they know the laws and they said the max would be 50. And then I have other people saying 40. But it doesn't matter. It's not something that we're going to argue about. What I do want to say is that whatever the max is, we want him to have that. Somebody asked about restitution and taking his money. And guess what? They do take restitution. So when a prisoner gets commissary, commissary is money that comes into the prison. When mommy and daddy send him money for his top ramen and his whatever off-brand food that he's going to get, guess what? They're going to take money right off the top. And I wish they'd take all of it. Okay, 40 max, one of your max. And I'm going to believe you because I'm not in the court systems. I don't know the laws in New Jersey. All right. So thank you. Chris Como, he had to show the video in case people, yeah, I understand that. Absolutely. I did it before Bre came on because I didn't want to from one mother to another. I just couldn't do that. So of course, everybody needs to know what it's about. I wish he wouldn't have done it then. Now, can the Gregors be sued? I'm not sure. I'm not a lawyer, but I know we'll find out, right? It gets the word out. It gets the word out. People haven't seen it. I get it. KJ, I get it all. I can't, I'm not criticizing anybody. I'm just saying I didn't like that and I wouldn't do it that way, but I also don't have News Nation. So what do you know? I hope he has a treadmill in there, right? Crystal, we love you too. Let's finish this and then we can go on to something else I want to show you.
Came back from lunch, spent about an hour more deliberating, and found the defendant guilty. 2 different charges: aggravated manslaughter and child endangerment. Did not find him guilty on first-degree murder, but child endangerment, from my understanding, that carries 15 to 30 years in prison, and the child endangerment up to 10 years in prison. I spoke to Bre Micciolo, the child's mother. She said,
okay, so there it is. So that is 40 years max. I know you guys know what you're talking about, and he can be sued for wrongful death. So we have a civil suit at hand. I don't know if he's going to pay it, but if he'll ever pay anything, but DCP and P absolutely will, hopefully. And I hope they don't make her some ridiculous offer, because I guarantee you she's up for the fight and she will not. I'm not speaking for her, but I guarantee you if they give her some ridiculous offer and they're not trying to do anything, she'll go to court and we'll see a big trial happening. Brandy, the fact they saw the video and did nothing is insane. I'm going to leave that comment up there because you're absolute. That's like out of my mind insane that they didn't do anything about it with that video. I didn't even realize he was biting his head until someone called it out. And then I watched it again and I was like, wait, what? But I don't understand how it impacted the media as much as it did when we did see it. But the judge or the person that looked at it, it didn't impact them enough to put him anywhere, put him in foster care, put him anywhere but with his dad. I absolutely agree with you, Karen. She will win her lawsuit. So much publicity. And not only that, people are siding with her in the fact that that person that made that decision to give Corey back and all the abuse reports, unbelievable. They totally messed up and they have to be held accountable. And I believe they will. Sending all the necessary energy to Bre. She will need it. We all stand with you, Bre. We do. All right, let's watch this.
This is a sad day, but also a happy day. She was disappointed that it was not murder one, but nonetheless happy. She says she's still suing Child Protective Services, so that continues. I spoke to the defense. They said they are disappointed and plan to appeal as soon as possible. Sentencing is August 2nd, I believe. August 2nd. Back to you, Nicole.
All right, so a guilty verdict in the treadmill abuse trial. Bre Micciolo live for us.
So yes, it is August 2nd at 1:30 p.m. And I believe that's 1:30 Eastern time. I will cover that. And then, I know everybody's going to be asking Bre and Rebecca. So hopefully I can get them on right after, since I'll be streaming it and they can give me more than 13 seconds, because that last guilty verdict, I found a 13-second clip and then like a 30 or 40-second. Maybe we can get her right away. And then, then all the other news stations could pick her up. So we can hope, because we want to know exactly how she feels when he gets the maximum. And you notice how I say that, right? We want to know how she feels when he gets the max. It's called the power of positivity. You think it, and it becomes.
In New Jersey. Rich, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get.
We won't forget. All right. So what I wanted to do here is, all right, Jay, let's not forget Crappy Chris was warned to not put Corey on the treadmill the year before. Yeah, absolutely. They did tell him that not to put him on there, but that didn't mean anything. He still kept doing it, and they found all the footage of that. And even if they gave an order to him to keep the hospital overnight for Bre, even if they gave an order to keep him in the hospital overnight, I'm not sure what that. I get you guys might be talking amongst yourself. If you have questions, put Q. Good. I'll be watching for the verdict. Yeah, we have the verdict. You mean for the sentencing? We want to know what the sentencing is going to be. I wanted to see I wanted to see a clip of Bre on the stand because she was absolutely amazing on the stand. Let's see. Do I have it downloaded? Yeah, let's watch a little bit of that because I want you to see how fantastic she did. And then I downloaded the video that we did. I don't know if you guys have any questions about it. I didn't want to ask those questions while I didn't want to take questions while she was talking. So I kind of had to ignore the chat. So right now is the time for questions if you have any. Speaking the max sentence in existence. That's what I live by. I speak things into existence. It's the power of energy. All it is energy. And wherever you focus your energy is where your energy is going to go. So if you're focusing your energy on justice, you're going to push that energy towards justice. If you put your energy towards being a bad person, then you're going to be a bad person, folks. Calling him crappy was a compliment. Yeah. All right. So I was just downloading that video real quick. I'm going to play a little bit of it because I want you to see how amazing she did do on the stand. And we're not going to sit there and watch the whole thing, but let's see. Oh, it actually starts out right away. Hold on. We'll start with that. Thank you all for being here. There's 277 people in chat. Please hit that like button. True story. If I'm asking you to put your energy to hit that like button, you'll do it. If I don't ask, you're not going to do it, right? So, yeah, Bre on the stand. We're going to play a little bit of that. And also watching his face. Victim's mom testifies against dad of accused treadmill abuse.
Who's Bre Micciolo?
My son.
And when did you give birth to Bre?
May 1st, 2014.
And how old were you when you gave birth to Bre?
17.
And what grade were you in when you gave birth to Bre?
11th grade.
And who is Bre's biological father?
The defendant.
Man, take this microphone and just slide it right in front of you, okay?
Okay.
Right in the middle there, towards the
That's as far as it goes.
Let me turn it over to you. I want you to pretend that you're basically speaking all the way to the end of the jury box.
She did an amazing job. She showed her vulnerable side. And when you look at Christopher Gregor, nothing. He just looks like an evil soul. Like there's nothing behind that. And in the interview with us, she said that he had 3 things about him in he was a teacher, he went to school, he had a degree, and I forgot the other thing because I don't really care that much about him. But I do want to watch Bre a little bit and how powerful she was on the stand and how great she did.
All right, all the jurors need to hear you and see you. If they can't hear you down there, it's like you're not testifying, okay? So I know it may be difficult, but just please try and keep your voice up.
So who is Bre's biological father?
I think some of y'all didn't watch the interview. She was 16 and he was 21 when he took it from her, so to speak, and got her pregnant, folks. So yeah, it was not consensual. So I think people come in and yeah, he was a teacher. He was also a crisis hotline person. I really think she loves her. She didn't want him, and Corey was sad by him to make her come back. I'm not sure what that meant. Maybe you guys were talking to each other. Yeah, he was definitely glaring. All right, let's watch this a little bit. And then if you have questions, put Q so I can answer them. So I know you're talking to me.
The defendant.
And what's his name?
Christopher Gregor.
And how old were you when you first met Christopher Gregor?
16.
And do you know what the defendant's birth date is?
It's May 1992.
Now, you're familiar with Christopher Gregor, correct?
Yes.
And you've known him for many years, right?
Yes.
And you see him located in the courtroom today?
I do.
And can you please point to him and tell us where he's seated and what he's wearing?
He's sitting over there wearing a suit.
Identifying Mr. Gregor, Your Honor. So noted, thank you.
Now, is your son Corey no longer with us?
No. Well, yes.
And can you tell the jury the day he passed?
April 2nd, 2021.
And how old was Corey when he passed?
He was 6.
And what types of things did your son Corey like to do as a 6-year-old?
She's doing a fantastic job, and I hope in a year from now, I hope sooner, but you got to go through the grieving and you got to go through all the fighting with everybody, and she's doing the lawsuits. I really do hope to see a genuine smile on her by this time next year. I hope good things start happening to her and just many blessings that she deserves. She's absolutely amazing.
He likes reading, coloring, painting, playing outside.
And what type of demeanor did Corey have as a 6-year-old?
He was happy, silly, loving.
Permission to approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes, certainly.
Okay. I'm now showing you what's been marked.
He does look evil and he has disdain for her, but I do think that disdain came from rejection. She did reject him. She didn't want to date him. She had a boyfriend. He was 21. She was 16. He slipped her something, and I don't believe it was Molly. I think it was GHB or some other roofie, something that made her pass out and not remember. And she was so young, she didn't even know what it was.
S1 for identification purposes. And do you recognize that?
Yes.
Okay. And is that a picture?
Yes.
And can you tell the jurors what that's a picture of?
Oh, that's a picture of Corey.
And did you take that picture?
Yes.
So you're familiar with
Yes.
your son Corey, who's depicted in the picture?
Yes.
Your Honor, permission to publish S1.
Any objections? None. Are you ready to get to evidence first?
We can move it into evidence, yes. Move into evidence and publish.
No objection to evidence? No, Your Honor. S1 evidence.
Now, Brianna, can you tell the jurors who's depicted in that picture?
My son Corey.
And how old was he in that picture?
6.
And who took that picture?
I did.
And can you tell the jurors what you were doing when you took that picture of Corey?
We were at the park playing in the snow.
Okay.
And if you guys are in any of the groups for Corey, the Justice for Corey that Bre created, she loved that little boy. You can see it in the pictures. You can see how she interacted. You can see how proud she was. Maddie, thank you for sharing that with us. Chris once asked Bre to have another child with him. That's how sick in the head he was. He's disgusting and clearly thought he was God's gift to this earth. Well, he's going to be God's gift to some men in jail, I hope.
Now, Brianna, how old was Corey when the defendant entered his life?
He was 5.
And was there a paternity test?
Yes.
And how old was Corey when it was determined that the defendant was his biological father?
Around 4.
And calling your attention to October 28th of 2020, were you and the defendant granted?
Not necessarily disdain for everyone. He is a POS, but he particularly didn't get what he wanted with her. And he only came around for Corey with her because he wanted to be with her. He was like obsessed with her. So he mostly had disdain for her. But yeah, he's an evil guy. So evil people probably have disdain for everybody, but not in that way when he was rejected by her and he took it anyway.
Joint custody of Corey.
Yes.
And when that happened, who became the resident parent of Corey?
Christopher.
And when I say resident parent, can you tell us what that means?
He resided with him.
And did you have visitation?
Yes.
And was this ordered by the family court in Middlesex County?
Yes.
Your Honor, permission to approach the witness, counsel?
Yes, of course.
The order? Yeah, sure.
To me, it seems like the only people he had were his parents backing him. I don't know what friends he had. Probably all superficial. We're going to watch this for a little more and I'll post up some of your things, your comments and questions. But I just want you to be aware of Bre, who she is. You can see where she is now, where she was, how she did on the stand. Just fantastic. And I know she's going to grow even more and get stronger and hopefully have more of a smile on her face than knowing that Corey is above looking down and watching over his little sister. And he's always going to be there with her. She just has to find that peace inside. And when she does, I believe she will, then she'll find some semblance of justice and peace. Yeah, you have to go back and watch the interview. She didn't tell anybody. She didn't even tell her mom that he did that to her. She kept it all in, folks. And when you keep stuff in, sometimes that's why you can get into abusing drugs or even trying them and doing them to numb yourself because you hold it in. She's just a strong woman and she didn't want it to be like that. So when you saw the interview with her and her mom didn't even know. Yeah, she has a little girl now. Let me go a little bit before. I just want to watch a little bit of this together.
My mom.
Okay, and who is listed as the defendants in the order?
Myself and Christopher.
Now, Brianna, have you struggled with substance abuse?
Yes.
And have you specifically struggled with drugs?
Yes.
And can you please tell the jurors about this?
Yes. In my early 20s, I struggled with drug abuse. When I was younger, I went through a lot, and I feel like I used the drugs to suppress my emotions. I didn't really have the coping skills that I do now. And like I said, I was just going through a lot, but I've been clean currently for a long time.
And have you ever used drugs in front of your son, Corey?
No.
Of course not.
And can you tell us why you were granted custody of Corey in October of 2020?
I went through a drug program and I provided clean urines, and I just fought really hard because I hated living without my son.
Of course.
Now, calling your attention to September of 2020, where was Corey living?
In Barnegat.
Okay, and who was Corey living with?
The defendant.
And where did the defendant reside?
In Barnegat.
Okay.
Atlantic Heights.
Okay, when you say the Atlantic Heights, can you tell the jurors what that is?
It's an apartment complex.
And did the defendant move from his parents' home in Monroe Township to the apartment in Barnegat?
Yes.
And who else lived in the apartment?
Now, she said that the abuse got worse after he moved out of his parents' house, folks. And I wish the justice system doesn't work that way. That's why we're here together. That's why I came on to do this channel, because justice doesn't work how it's supposed to. The CPS, whatever they call it, DCP and P, that system is completely broken, everybody. The courts protected way too much on the background. Even the hearsay, that video I played you, the clip of Corey telling his mom he was being choked by his dad, didn't make it into court because they called it hearsay. That was the little boy. It was Corey's voice. How is that hearsay? So a lot was kept out. Okay. A lot of things didn't make it into court, and she still did a great job. And she still came across and said the things that she should. Even when she was cross-examined, she did a really good job. I don't know if I want to hear a little more of this, and then I'll see if we can listen to that dirtbag defense attorney, cross-examiner.
In Barnegat with Corey and the defendant?
Just them.
Now, Rihanna, in October of 2020, can you tell the jurors where you were living?
In Englishtown.
And what type of home did you?
Now, that's a misconception, Brandy. No one had full custody. Yeah, they did. Bre had full custody. She was young, and she went and filed for food stamps and assistance. She was 20 or 21. Remember, she got pregnant at 16, had Corey at 17, and by the time she was 21-ish, she went and filed for assistance. She had full custody always, and the only reason that monster filed for partial custody, they had a 50-50 split. If you watch the interview, she tells us that he did that because he didn't want to pay child support. So that's the only reason. He didn't love that kid. I think that he had disdain for him because Bre rejected him. She didn't want to be with him. Bre, you opened the door for so many children. Yeah, she is going to be our next hero. I believe we're going to be hearing a lot more about her and things changing because they know they got it wrong. Even though they're not doing interviews, silence speaks of volumes.
Live in Englishtown?
A townhome.
And who lived in the townhome in Englishtown?
Myself, my mother's boyfriend, and my sister.
And can you describe for the jurors what the townhome looked like in Englishtown?
It was 2 stories with a finished basement.
And where was your room located in the house?
In the basement.
And can you tell the jurors how come you were living in your mother's home in October of 2020?
I wasn't working at the time, so I couldn't afford it.
And about how far away is Englishtown, New Jersey from Barnegat, New Jersey?
About an hour.
Now, in October of 2020, what grade was Corey in?
He was in 1st grade.
And what school did Corey attend?
Cecil S. College.
All right, still with us, West Coast trial lawyer Ron Zambrano. Ron, tell me what you think of this first witness.
Yeah, I think she did a great job. I do want to hear a little bit about what he says. I know we're going backwards, but a lot of people don't know the case in the entirety, and I want to give Bre more for people to see and what people think of her and how she came across. And I want her to know that so she doesn't think anything other than that. I want you to know, Bre, and you can see that how much love that there are, how many supporters and how many people have love for you and are backing you. And like I said, I dug everything up I could find of any information from you after the verdict and what was going on. And that's what I found.
Fearful she's lost her son. They're owning that she had drug issues. How do you think it's going?
It's extremely powerful. She's
absolutely,
obviously, compared to the picture that was on screen, she's clearly looking the part of a grieving mother who's responsible. But there are these things again. these are bad facts that they're embracing, and they're heading straight on. But she looks like a grieving mother, and it is important to note that the father wasn't involved until 4 years into this boy's life. So, but then again, she has her own issues. But I think she's doing a good job of conveying, like, listen, I had my mistakes, but I was trying to do my best. And looks like it was her mom who was really looking out for the welfare of both of them.
And she,
the grandma.
Yeah, the grandma. I agree with you. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Ron, but she did own again. Yeah, I wasn't working. I was living with my mom, these other family members, but also touch on the defendant's demeanor because he is making eye contact with her. He is watching her. I feel like his demeanor is a little bit like he's angry or just
angry, stalkerish. And did you hear her in her video when she said that he tried to get another inmate to have her killed? Did anybody else hear that? He literally tried to hire somebody to take her life, and that she had to watch her back, and she's still watching her back because now that he's going to go to prison, he might try to do that again. We had to grow up fast. Meanwhile, that monster got to live his teen years carefree, and he still seems like he's carefree. He doesn't seem like he has remorse or he cares. Demonic stare. Yeah, you heard that. Bre and Jake, God bless you. Shower, many blessings. Praying for her family and poor little Corey. He reminds me of my two boys. Thank you, Alara. That day was scary. I'll never forget the phone call from her. I cannot imagine getting a phone call and someone saying that somebody that was in jail waiting on trial was trying to have your life taken. Absolutely terrifying.
Perturbed that she's up there saying these things.
Well, I was observing the same thing during the defense opening, how his mannerisms, and I think he just that's his default when he's just sad and upset. But he's definitely, I think he just kind of looks like a mean guy. But then again, he had the same look when he started crying during the opening. So it's hard to read if the jury's paying attention like we are. But I agree with you. I mean, he is locked in on her, and he looks really, really upset. But then again, if he really believes that she's responsible for the death of their son, I can't blame him. It's a really tough one. Neither one of them are perfect citizens.
Yeah, absolutely. But also I question if he was crying or not. I saw him wiping his eyes a lot, but I couldn't quite tell if he was really crying or not. We'll continue to monitor that. Thank you so much, Ron, for joining me this hour. Greatly appreciate it. Michael Ayala joining me next for more testimony from the victim's mom.
All right, so I can do a little more testimony, or do you want to see a little bit of the video? I really want, and Gothic Bre, Mod, I know Davey probably doesn't have it, or I'd ask him if you can pin or post that in the chat. When I Google Bre Micciolo interview, her interview is one of the first one that comes up that she did on our channel, and that was a very powerful interview. It summed it up what was in the article that I read in the very beginning. It summed up what she said. So that was unscripted. We had talked the day before. There was nothing in writing. She told her story, and she's told it time and time again. Absolutely time and time again. And that's weird that he didn't get charged. That he didn't get charged for trying to take her life. I wish he would have. Gothic Bre, I thought the same when I missed something. Anyway, did CPS... Oh, yeah. Somebody had a question about that. The CPS have the audio of Corey describing. Yeah, of course. She gave them everything, folks. Thank you. Wow, you have it. Thank you, Davey. So Davey just posted that. That's the video that we did with her. The interview right after the verdict. A couple days after the verdict. Appreciate it, Davey. We love you. Okay. So you guys really need to watch that video if you haven't, because her story stays the same the whole time, which tells you that she's telling her truth, and her truth is the truth. I want to hear her with the
in the treadmill,
how she handled it.
You know, Michael, so far she's really describing a typical one parent has custody, the other has visitation. A little unusual. She stayed there overnight when she had visits with Corey, but nothing standing out so far to me.
That's actually not unusual, and she addressed that. She was scared for Corey because he was telling her about the abuse. So she stayed there so that she can prevent the abuse. That's the Parent of the Year award, to make yourself uncomfortable like that, knowing that she hates that man, to make sure that he was okay. He also found it creepy they moved to Florida. Then suddenly he ended up going to school in Florida. Well, that's the kind of guy he was. Recordings from his not admissible because it can be crossing. Yeah, it wasn't admissible, but they also heard it before. Take it away from the trial, even if they didn't put it in the trial. CPS heard that. DCP, whatever you call, heard that. Why was the grandparents allowed to have funeral? They had 2 separate ones, and they were allowed because that was his son, and obviously justice was failed all the way around. Just so I believe she's going to win.
No, I mean, the only thing that stands out is the fact that I guess he was a newer father at that time, right? Because he wasn't in the child's life earlier on. And there's always an adjustment period for a young person, especially a young man, when suddenly they find out that this is a situation. I actually had a friend who.
That didn't happen, though. See, you hear this narrative. He didn't suddenly find out that he had a child. He knew. He came and saw her after she was discharged from the hospital after having Corey, and he came through a couple other times in hopes that Bre would be with him. He didn't care about the kid at all, and he didn't pay a dime for the funeral. I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure you said the Gregors didn't pay a dime. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Thank you for telling us that. They had one funeral and they chose to go late. Interesting. I didn't know that. See, this is not right what he's saying here. Chris knew.
Was in that situation, and it was a very difficult transition for him. So you can understand that things like that might set things off balance.
And you can understand then why maybe she spent the night and the father had some time to go, Christopher did, go live his life while she was safely with the child.
Sure,
Kind of sounds like that. All right, I understand the sidebar's over. Let's go back in.
Testify for identification purposes. And do you recognize those?
I do.
And can you tell the jurors what those are?
There are text messages between me and the defendant.
And you're familiar with those text messages?
Yes.
And are those text messages that were located in your cell phone?
Yes.
Okay, now during the course of this investigation, did you provide your cellular phone to the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office?
Yes.
And when did you provide your cell phone to the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office?
The day Corey passed.
And you provided your cell phone to Detective Mitchell?
Correct.
And by doing this, you voluntarily agreed that the prosecutor's office would search your phone?
Yes.
So calling your attention now to S5 in particular, at approximately 3:04, what did the defendant text you in regard to you dropping off Corey on March 20th, 21 at approximately?
Yeah, I felt that was, seriously, I have to call this out, the adjustment period with Christopher Gray. I feel like that was like a man thing, and nothing against that newscaster, but they did not hear the whole story, and that's why people are saying the things they did, because they didn't get to hear everything. All they get to hear was that they painted Bre in a terrible light, and now it's coming out. The truth is coming out now, so thank God. I don't think all I remember her saying was they had their own private service, and then there was another one, and Rebecca said that she was trying to spend a little bit of time, and they were like pushing her out of there. That's what I remember. So yeah, I'm not sure about paying or not. I don't know if we talked about that.
3:04.
He texted me, when you get here, please just drop him off.
And what was your response?
I said, okay.
And then what did he say next?
He said,
what did the defendant say next?
He said, this Friday, however long late you are, is how long after 4:30 you can come.
Can you continue, please? What did he say next?
FYI, this is beyond pissing me off now. My entire plans for today are ruined.
What did you respond?
I'm driving as fast as I can. There's traffic. I'm sorry. And he said, I don't care. Whenever you get here, we will take the difference in time from 2 o'clock until then. And that is how long we will add on to 4:30 for when you come on Friday now.
And then, can you tell us?
Yes. He said, I'm at the clubhouse gym. Just drop him off here. I said, okay. And then again, I said, he can't get in. And then I said, I apologize for being so late. And I mean it. I'm not saying this because I want you to change your mind about Friday. I will come at 6:45, no problem. It's understandable, but I did want to tell you that there was no ill intentions there. I didn't mean to be so late.
Okay, so the text message that you're referring to regarding the...
She's being as nice as she possibly can. She stayed the night there. And it would have came out in court had she had any text messages saying you're an asshole for not doing this, or she didn't do any of that. She was respectful the entire time. That's absolutely ridiculous, the way that the court system works and what they allow in and what they don't. But I do know that even though we don't like the attorney that Chris had, he did do a good job and keep it a lot out. I want to hear a little bit more. I want to see about the cross.
Since it's a document, not an evidence, I don't know how she could read from it.
Your Honor, we already had a 104 hearing where...
You want to move it down?
I can move them in.
Go 104.
And can you tell the jurors why you did this?
Because I wanted to drive him myself to Jersey Shore Medical Center.
And why did you want to drive him yourself to Jersey Shore Medical Center?
Now they're talking about the day. I'm sure they're talking about the day when she went to 3 different places when he was sick, when he was getting sick. And she talked about that in the video. She didn't want to call 911 and wait. She wanted to make sure he got to the hospital. She was very respectful. And she's better. She's a better person than I would have been. But he was at the gym when he was planning to go to the gym because he was angry that she was late and he was planning to punish Corey. Agreed. I think he took out a lot of that on Corey. She was sure respectful. She absolutely was. Wow. All right. I'm going to play a little bit more, and then I just want to show you the video in case people haven't seen it. We have 283 people in chat, and there's people that I haven't seen here before. So thank you for being here. I hope that you don't forget to subscribe so that you can continue watching this content following the case. Total boys club vibe. Absolutely. From the defense attorney, the dad, Christopher. Even at some points, I felt the judge was a little biased. In the end, I think he's going to do the right thing. But damn, I think that town had a lot of that going on. The good old boys club and the cop thing and so forth. Wow. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that. Yeah, keep on liking and let's get in the algorithm so we can do more of this together and have a bigger outreach, folks. Yeah, the judge too. Thank you for agreeing. I felt like that throughout the trial. I was a little bit disappointed, but in the end, he got the guilty verdict, and now we wait for the sentencing.
Because I was already late and I didn't want to spend another 30 minutes waiting.
And what had the hospital offered at the time?
To transport Corey.
Now, while Corey was at Community Medical Center, was he physically examined?
Yes.
And what was Corey's condition at Community Medical Center?
He was fine.
Now, did Jersey Shore Medical Center have a pediatric abuse specialist on staff?
Yes.
And while all this was happening, did you speak to Barb, the DCP&P worker?
Yes.
Now, after you and Corey left Community Medical Center, where did you immediately go?
Jersey Shore Medical Center.
And what was Corey's physical condition while you were with Corey in the car?
Fine. He was just watching videos on my phone.
And what was Corey's demeanor?
Normal, happy.
Now, approximately what time did you arrive at Jersey Shore Medical Center with Corey?
Okay, this is where it leads up to what's happening. We'll listen to a little more. I downloaded the wrong video. I downloaded the one where she was doing that with Tells from the Pen. So I'm not going to play that one, but we put it in the chat. I hope you guys did get to see that. If you didn't, just go back to my playlist and it's right there. Thank you, because you're a love, Jay. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are in that. And we're doing that so we can get more people on here to help with justice and help us. We have a lot of bigger folks helping us out, and I'm so very grateful that these bigger channels are being so nice and kind to us. And I feel like the people that don't feel threatened are the ones that know there's nothing to be threatened by. People, we're on YouTube, and we should all be in the true crime community fighting for the same thing. We're not fighting for likes and dollars. We're all fighting for justice, but I come to find out we're not. I'm learning that every day. I also put your interview. Thank you for putting that in there. I want everybody to see it. It came on to AG Tactical, and I thought that was really cool that he did that. He's been covering that, and I really appreciate that he did that. So even if you're subscribed to him and you're not subscribed to me, it doesn't matter to me. All I want is for her story, Bre, she likes to be called Bre, so Bre Micciolo story to be heard. That's it. All right, let's hit play for a second.
Around 8.
And did you speak to the doctor at Jersey Shore Medical Center?
Yes.
And did Corey speak to the doctor at Jersey Shore Medical Center?
Yes.
And what was Corey's demeanor while at Jersey Shore Medical Center?
He was okay. He was just a little tired because it was getting late.
And was Corey examined by a doctor at Jersey Shore Medical Center?
He was.
And what tests were performed on Corey at Jersey Shore Medical Center?
He had an X-ray and blood work.
Does anyone know if Bre has a GoFundMe up? If she does, let us know. Throw it in chat. We'd love to help her. Thank you, Nancy, for being here. Keep coming back. There's a lot that's going to be happening. And Bre is heard all the way in Germany. That's awesome. That's all we want. Yes, Christopher tried to say under his breath to Bre that Gregor paid for the funeral. Yeah, whatever he says doesn't matter. Brandy, thank you. We want this story to be out there, and that's all that matters. You believe there's an old GoFundMe. Yeah, we want to make sure it's the right GoFundMe. Let's listen to this for a minute. I'll show you AG Tactical. You guys go watch it wherever you want.
And while Corey was at Jersey Shore Medical Center, was he seen by the pediatric abuse specialist?
I believe so.
Or is he seen by an emergency room doctor?
I think it was an emergency room doctor.
Now, while you were at Jersey Shore Medical Center on April 1st of 2021, did you have a telephone conversation with the defendant?
Yes.
And about what time did that conversation occur?
Around 8:30.
And can you tell us about the conversation you had with the defendant?
He called me and he asked me to leave the hospital with Corey, and I said I wouldn't. I wanted to be checked out, and then he started just verbally attacking me and fighting with me.
Now, remember, Chris just dropped his son off. He ran into the emergency room or into the hospital and just dumped his son off that day. Bre never left his side ever unless she had to, and it wasn't her day. And there was a 50-50 custody split. There never was. The way they made it sound like she had, and I thought that too, that she had visitation only because she was this person that they painted. Absolutely wrong. All right, let me do this. I'm going to stop, pull this down just because I want you guys to see AG Tactical. And I also want to shout back out to AG because I'm glad that he used my video. And I want you all to know that as a new YouTuber, that I'm all for us all sharing content with each other. And that if anyone wants to use any of my content, you're welcome to do so. Okay, so please know that you're hearing it from me. You can use my content. I'd appreciate the shout outs, and I appreciate, just linking my channel so that we can have the outreach. But you're welcome to it, and I'd love to collaborate with you. And these kind of things is how more people got to see this video. She's a far better woman than I would be. Me too. If she needs eggs and chicken bones, I got her. All right, listen for a second. AG Tactical's covering it. I thought that was cool.
Brought a bunch of alcohol. We were drinking, and I could tell, he was interested in me, but
So it was Chris and his brother. I mean, bro, from the time you're buying alcohol for a bunch of underage girls, you're weird, big dog. Just in case you didn't know, you're a weird. You're bringing alcohol for little.
Now remember, this is how Corey was conceived. We started right on time. This is we'll listen to this, and then I gotta go get my daughter.
Girls, what type of shit is this? Now I wonder how old her friend was. But if Brianna was friends with her friend at the time, then we all know that they're probably both like 16, bruh. Well, how old was your friend? 16, 17? And Gregor was like, "Oh yeah, I'm 21. I'll bring all the booze over." Bro, you're fucking weird. What's up, Mary? Bruh. What's up, Teos? How you doing? This is some predator shit because you already know how young. I mean, that might be it might be sexist to say, but I feel like girls who don't be drinking that much, they already get kind of loosey goosey. All right, and that's a grown ass woman. Now you're giving this to a fucking.
All right, let's listen to her.
You're fucking amped.
Reject him, and also I want to hear her. Not me.
Said he wanted a picture of Corey. So I did send him one, and he was like, oh my God, he looks like me or something.
Of course he said that.
Shit, there was your chance to be a father right there. I mean, yeah, you raped her. You did all this negative shit to her, but hey.
All right, so you guys, I basically just wanted to show you that. First of all, I wanted to tell you everybody can share that interview that wants to. Please do. I'm happy to get it out there. Get Bree's real story. Now that this is over, now that she's going to go through a whole bunch of longer years, and she's got a long time to fight for justice. Trust me, you know how long it takes. Bree, you're in here. Gothic Bree, the moderator, Bree, she's in here, and she works with on the Maya Kowalski case, and who knows if that's ever gonna even get paid out. That was an emotional case, and if anyone knows about that, that was them suing the hospital, winning millions of dollars. We don't know if it's gonna be paid, but it's a long road. This guy used the P word. Bree, Bre Micciolo tells, oh yeah, thank you, start to finish, that's the video. Bre is doing great things, and we appreciate her, and we appreciate all of you. So if you want to keep seeing more content like this, and you want exclusive interviews, and you want the real story, okay, so yeah, with Maya, it was over 200 million. Who knows? What's up, John, Texas? Hey, that's where Oblivious Benson's from, is Texas. Anything involved in the state takes forever. So we hope, number one, first, we're waiting for Chris to be sentenced. I want the maximum sentence. If it's 40 years, let it be. Another person said that it's up to the judge and his discretion how he wants to sentence. So I don't know. I'm going to be there August 2nd, 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, which is 10:30 my time. You hear that? That says, go pick up your daughter. That's my timer. So, justice, show support for Bre. We're here. Anything she needs. Thank you, sweetie Brookahire. 40 years, baby. Let's get that going. Let's get it to that. It's gonna be more than 30 years. So I think you can write to the judge. I think anyone can. So look that up. Let's see, Maddie. She's the one that helps run the page, I believe. Can you please let people know that Corey's Laws page isn't an approved page, and Corey's honor petition hasn't been approved either. Please do not donate. There you go. I just let them know that. We know Corey's Law hasn't even started yet, or we don't know what it even is. But the beginning inner workings are happening, and the conversations and discussions are being had. So, Maddie, you also have a voice here when we're doing this case. Anytime you have a voice, but when we're doing this particular coverage, please tell me anything you want and I'll get the word out for you. If you need something, you feel free to also email me about anything you want or you need help with, or you want outreach for your platform. Just let me know. I'll do whatever I can to help out. Having for your channel, being able to write to the judge of the day. I've always learned something new with you guys. Thank you, Joyce. We love you. And I'm going to say love you to everybody. And I'm going to say goodnight to everybody because I do have to go. All right. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful evening, night, wherever you're from. Justice is a process. Maddie made sure that part of Corey's law is making aggravated child abuse an underlying felony for felony murder. And we hope so. You're welcome. And you're Spanglish. Not me. I don't speak Spanish. I kind of wish I did. But on that note, I love each and every one of you. Thank you all for being here and supporting my channel and the platform for everybody that doesn't have a voice for the voiceless. And now we support Bre in her search for justice for Corey, for Corey's law, and suing the crap out of whoever she can. All right. Have a good night, y'all. See you back here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?